This is the Uplink Marketing Podcast. My name is Evan Chasteen and I am your host. Usually Hudson Phillips is here in the office with me for our weekly conversation, but he is out this week and I see it as an opportunity for me to practice my solo podcasting. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through the Uplink Marketing Podcast system, a system we use to help clients create 1 month's worth of content using less than 3 hours of your time each month. We do this by recording a conversation together or a couple conversations together and repurposing that content for use on social media, blogs, emails, and whatever other media outlets that you have. Before we jump into today's episode, I would like to say that I think most businesses are thinking about podcasting the wrong way. It's nearly impossible to make money on a podcast anymore, but you can likely use podcasting as a way to help you make more money if you already have a profitable business model. If you're thinking of a podcast as a social media channel, sales tool, or top of funnel engagement strategy instead of a revenue stream, you're on the right track. If you'd like to learn more about podcasting and see if it would be a good fit for your business, I would love to talk to you. You can reach out to me, Evan at uplinkmarketing.com. Also to note, this podcast episode is available in blog format. If you prefer reading over listening, you can go to our blog at uplinkmarketing.com. All right, let's go ahead and get started on the Uplink Marketing Podcast system. I'm going to run through the outline real quick and then run through those bullets in a little more detail. So the first thing we do is plan, next is record, then transcribe, distribute, multiply, and spread the word. Planning includes, planning is something that happens before a podcast episode is ever recorded, but it's not something that has an end to it as well. It includes planning social media strategy, how you're going to share about the podcast itself, and then how you're going to repurpose the content that's created in the podcast on social media. We come up with messaging, how to talk about the podcast, things that your customers or potential customers may, words that they may know that we can use in our podcasts or messaging strategy. We come up with a schedule. Right now we start with 2 episodes a month, but we can go up to 4 episodes a month. That would be bi-weekly or weekly. And we explore relevant topics in this planning stage. What are things that your customers are engaging with, and how can we strategically talk about those in an engaging way? We brainstorm guests, people that may be good to talk about things in your field. Guest is a really great way to tap into other businesses' audiences when there's a relationship that both businesses can benefit from. It's a really fun way to engage with friendly competitors or other businesses that you're friends with and reach their customers as well, and then offer them the opportunity to reach your customers. We come up with timely episode announcements, so if you've got any sort of rhythm to your year, where sales are higher, sales are lower, we kind of work around that and think through that as we look to record episodes that are strategically engaging your customer base and potential customer base. Next up after planning is getting to the recording. That's the part you're listening to right now. It is setting up in front of a microphone, up to 4 microphones in person, and then there are some softwares available to record episodes with people that are not in the room with you as well. The technology here has really increased in the last few years. You can get good sound quality for not a lot of money. If you have questions about the software, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer any questions, help you get up and running with a podcast of your own. After recording, this is a fun step that the software industry has really helped out with as well, is transcribing the episode. We can get full transcription of the final audio. We don't ever use that in a full transcription way. What we do is we use this as a way to pull out content in written format and edit it to use in emails, blogs, and on social media. We also add the show notes in this section. We link to books mentioned websites mentioned, resources mentioned, anything that would be helpful for people to know while they're in their podcast player that you talk about in the podcast, just quick links to get out to that. After that, we distribute the podcast. We upload it to an audio podcasting platform. Our favorite is Anchor. That it's a free platform, and it distributes to all major podcasting services. And they were acquired by Spotify. So there's a lot of potential there with that relationship going forward, and I think they're going to be releasing and launching some really cool features in the next few years as well. Spotify is upping their podcast game, wanting to increase their podcast listeners as well as their audio music listeners. After we distribute it, it's worth noting that after you distribute it, you can distribute it on schedule. So these next few steps can happen after it's been uploaded to the distribution platform when the episode is not quite live yet. So this is Multiply. It is creating short audio clips to be used on social media, creating blog posts to be used on your website or on Medium, a blogging platform, a writing platform that people engage with. There are written segments that we can pull out using that transcription to use on social media, emails, on the website, and in graphic designs. We like to engage people on different social media platforms in different ways, and using graphic designs is a great way to do that. All of this is provided for you if you do work with Uplink, but this is also just a template for you if you're looking to do a podcast on your own. The other one is email content. We Multiply, and you can send out an email every time an episode releases with some valuable content. The very last thing in our podcast system is spread the word. And we do that in this order. We put a blog out, we put an email out, and then social posts. Now, this is after the podcast is actually live on podcast players. So blog post using the content from the podcast. We send an email out saying that the podcast is live, so people closest to your business who have given you their email address are the first to know about it. And then we put links on social media. We link directly to the podcast. Included in our service are 3 Facebook posts, 3 Instagram posts, 1 YouTube, and 5 Twitter 5 tweets as well. So you've got a lot of content there to use each episode. If you do 2 episodes a month, we can get you 1 month's worth of content for all your social media, blog, and emails. And recording these podcasts with you takes less than 3 hours per month. So if you have more time than money on your hands and you would like to create a month's worth of content to put on social media, use in your blogs, use in your emails, and you have 3 hours to spend and some money on hand to pay us to help you do that, then we'd be a great fit. If you have more time than money, I would recommend that you take this system and implement it yourself. You can go to our website and download a PDF of this system and go through it. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to help you out and answer those questions as they come up. Thanks for listening to today's short bonus episode about the Uplink Marketing Podcast system. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, evan@uplinkmarketing.com, and I'd be happy to answer you or talk with you about using a podcast in your business.